What's up, Falcon Nation? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com. Sam's Wedge in Wednesday night, week 9, the home of Austintown Fitch. Cannot thank Mark Presley, Donnie Sherwood, and the crew enough for all they do for us, Anthony, at YSN, and obviously for Austintown Fitch. Week 9, there's a little rivalry coming to town. The Boardman Spartans will invade Austintown Fitch. We're going to talk with Coach here in a second and reintroduce him to Falcon Stadium since it's been
a while.
3 bus rides, 3 road trips, but proud to be joined by the head ball coach, TJ Parker. Coach, that may be one of the best games that I was able to do a game on Friday night, hop in a car with Richie and have my daughter with the phone right behind us, listening and watching him to it a little bit. Wadsworth we talked last week, a talented football team.
Oh, yeah.
That game was a game for the ages. Talk about it a little bit.
You know, the amount of text and people talking about that game after, it never felt like that. It really never did throughout the game. It was a very weird game to be a part of. Credit to Wadsworth. I mean, the physicality that those kids brought and then their ability to tackle in open space, they're a program.
Have they done the best job tackling in open space with the people you've played? I would say yes.
There's no doubt about it. Like, it felt like every opportunity
every time we
had,
would hit a big play, it would be one-on-one, and I'll take our one-on-one guys.
There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, that's a very, very good program. And, you know, I thought in the first half, their physicality got to us. We got engaged just too much with the fighting and all that. It was so much nonsense that we got engaged with, and we fell victim to that before. And then I think the turning point in the game, as weird as it sounds, was the second half opening up and us getting that onside kick and then it being overturned. From that point on, I mean, you did not hear anything from our kids. It was laser focus, and I thought the defense stepped up so much in that second half. And when you have teams like that, like we were doing and like they were doing, both teams were driving, the clock just went down. And honestly, after our D stopped them, we got the ball back. We were completely confident. Hey, we're going to go on a drive. We felt like we were driving on them all night, and we weren't. If you look in our past games, some of the plays that we were getting, they would be 40-yarders, and we would hit for 6, and then boom, they're tackled. And we would get into the second level, and it was 8, and we were tackled. And then we got down there right at the goal line, and we thought we were going to finish, and great stand by them. We just didn't finish. There was one time DJ popped through, and I thought this is going in the end zone, and then boom, he gets hit and tackled. So, I mean, complete confidence in Deshai. He makes that kick 9 times out of 10 and just pushed that one, hooked it actually. And from there, it was weird. Like, I'm like, okay.
There's a whole series of events, Anthony, that go on from there. I'll let you talk about that.
And I think to add into everything that's going on the field, it started pouring.
Oh, yeah. That's what
started pouring.
The rain, and then it was cold. And, like, you could tell, like, in a physical game, both teams were trying to run at each other. It was part of it. Like, it was testing both sides' will.
That wasn't just a little drizzle. That was a pretty good rain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that rain made it even tougher. It was another week. You guys can't catch a break facing good running backs either. Kyle Figueroa for Wadsworth. Of course, we hope his recovery and everything's good here at YSN. He was a very good running back. We go strength versus strength. I mean, he was a hard guy to take down. I believe he had 28 carries on Friday night. But credit to you guys. You didn't let him break too many huge runs. Both teams did a great job defensively, kind of limiting the big plays. And we talk about that, how especially when you play big games, big plays are the big thing. Both teams did a pretty good job of keeping each other at bay.
Yeah, to comment on Figueroa's status, we had the JV game at our place. You know, seeing the severity of the incident, him getting carted off and so forth. We asked about him. And X-rays came back negative.
That's awesome.
Yeah, high ankle sprain. So yeah,
that's unsettling for you, for your football team, for them.
Right.
These are kids,
and it takes the juice.
You
out
don't
of the game
want to see someone
like
go out in a stretcher in any game.
We lost Jamel the very first play of that game, so it was the same thing, and both kids exact same injuries, and both of them I think are they'll be back in the future and be all right, but nothing overly serious I think for both guys. But in terms of he's just a big, hard runner. You know what I mean? I think the kid's like, when I got up close to him, he's probably like 6'2", of course, like everyone in their
They
program.
all look like clones.
There's a wrestler. Like, they're all wrestlers.
My
like,
gosh.
I mean, that's who they are. But, I mean, yeah, just a tough runner.
Well,
Very tough runner.
That was a great game. TJ Parker, Coach's Corner here at Sam's Wedge Inn Wednesday night. Thanks to the boys there, Mark Presley, Donnie Sherwood. The food, I cannot wait, Anthony, after that is fantastic every week. I want to ask you, because I know you well enough, there were so many big plays in that game. The blocked field goal after an interception, we'll get to that one. But I want to go to you. You have to make all those decisions. When we score, am I going to tie it? Am I going to go for 2? Talk about that a little bit. Those are hard things to do. And I'm going to say that I know your football team, 99% of them want to go for 2 and win the game.
Yeah,
and then you're in a situation where you have to make those decisions.
It's a staff.
Sure.
It is a staff, and I think we rely on each other in that. Right. The one thing when you ask, like, I think these guys know that we're aggressive,
sure,
and we gamble. So in those moments, those kids want it.
Sure.
You know, fortunately enough, when you go back to the overtime, there was really only one opportunity for us.
That was the third one, right?
The third one, yes, for us to actually
make the decision.
Yes. So the first one, we were on defense first. Right. They scored, kicked one.
We scored.
Then we scored. I guess right there you could have, but no. Yeah. So we go. The second one, we throw the pick.
Now what's your thoughts after that? You're like, we got to make a play.
We had watched them. Yeah, we did. And then when they broke the first run for 8 yards, and now they're inside the 15-yard line, we got to, we're just keep them out of the end zone and hope something bad happens. Right. We had already forced one bad kick earlier in the game. But I knew he was a really good kicker, and that was kind of an anomaly.
Well, talk about that. Then we blocked the kick. That's awesome.
So then we blocked the kick, and what was weird when you talk about those moments was when you get into those overtimes, the team that's on the field that makes that play immediately comes back out because of the way the overtime goes. Sure. So our defense blocks the kick. Like in the first overtime, we score to tie it up, emotional. And then we grab the offense, you're back on. Mm-hmm. Then we throw the pick. Then the defense blocks a kick, and it's like, you're back on. Yeah. And the very first play of the third, they throw the touchdown pass.
Yep.
So now the offense comes back on. The defense goes, now we drive down, we score, and we kicked one.
Sure.
And then boom.
The fourth one I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
A great play for us to score, obviously, but the pick in the end zone was fantastic. Great coverage, pressure. We've talked to you for 2 weeks now. Pressure on the quarterback was key.
Yes.
In that last drive.
But Davion Pritchard. I mean, we're a very aggressive man-to-man team. They caught us a couple times early in the mesh, the underneath routes, and Davion Pritchard. 2 plays before that, it got called for a pass interference. He had the deep ball caught on him. He's a very, very good corner. He's going to be playing on Saturday.
One of the best.
He's going to be playing
the best in the.
He'll be playing on Saturday someday. But you kept going at him, and he was getting burned earlier. And then enough time, you're going to get burnt.
Yeah,
and he caught it up to him. So I was proud of him for that and the resilience he had to continue to play.
So I got to say, Coach, you've been part of some pretty crazy, wild games at Fitch during your time as head coach. One I think of is, I believe it was a Steubenville game back in 2020, the overtime game. Where does this game last Friday rank up there at some of the best games you've been a part of? Well, I feel like that's a hard question because you actually said it didn't even feel like it was.
Well,
I said,
with the schedule they play every week, you can pretty much go weekly. But
there has been some crazy games, but like I said, that one didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
It was just us trying to get over the hump.
Sure.
I think the way the Steubenville game went, that was a very, very crazy game. And I think Ursuline last year, that was another heavyweight bout of just the momentum swings in the big plays. I think versus Wadsworth, there wasn't any big plays. It was long, clock grinding drives for both teams. There wasn't all this emotion. It was playing a slow game of chess. If you think back to that Ursuline game last year, it was 40-yard run, then come back 40-yard run, then here's a pass. Yes, kickoff. It was like your head was just back and forth that whole game. So And the Steubenville game was just so exciting, and how it ended, and those were some games that rank up there. But yeah, anytime you go 4 overtimes and win a game, it's special.
Well,
Builds
that's
team.
awesome.
Yeah,
Those
well,
are
I'm
awesome
glad.
answers.
I'm glad that you weren't feeling the nerves because I know he was nervous driving. I was cutting highlights for YSU on my couch watching the game. I was nervous.
I was like, Grace, can you turn it up a little bit, Grace? Can you put the camera in front of Richie and I? But we'll put a bow on that one. A great win against Wadsworth. Before I put a bow on it, I want to ask you, we talk every week. The run defense was solid.
Yeah.
That has to be, for you, all the people you played before then, where maybe some of those runs that were 4 were 10 and 12 against a good running back on the road. We made some big-time tackles and plays. Is this defense getting to where you want it to be?
Yeah, I think when you're talking about, my tenure at Fitch and who we played against and so forth like that, this year, seeing Ursuline's O-line, seeing Massillon Washington's O-line, and I mean this, Wadsworth's O-line. I mean, the kids are aggressive and nasty. That got ready for our kids to play in a phone booth and play hard.
Absolutely.
And ironically enough, Boardman comes to town, and we know what we're going to get from them.
To that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's there's no secret
You
about
got a
what they're
smile on
trying
your
to
face.
do over
Coach
there.
Parker, Coach's Corner, stealing my thunder here at Sam's Wedge in Wednesday night. Mark Presley, Donnie Sherwood, everybody here. If you're not at the game, which you better be at the game, but if you're not, Sam's will have it on here Friday night with the Guardians, I'm sure. A lot of TVs, a lot of great food here, the home of Falcon Nation. Boardman Spartans. You went there, you went to Fitch, you played here, you've coached in this. This isn't a normal week. Is that fair to say?
Not at all. I mean, not at all. I think it's a rivalry week. Our kids talk about it. We talk about it. We do something special. There's a trophy involved.
Sure.
We do something special that kind of stole from Ohio State. They give out the gold pants. We give out dog tags to the kids every year with they win, the victory and all that on it. So the score and the place. It means something to these kids. It does. I think on both sides. And that's what's special. And, this is what high school football is all about.
76th meeting all time between the two schools. You guys currently hold the edge, I believe, 42-32, and there was one tie. Looking back at your playing days, when did this rivalry become really special to you, or as a freshman when you walked in, did you instantly feel it?
You're digging deep. That's a really good question.
You're what, 28, 29?
20, yeah. No, that's a great question because my freshman year, our freshman team ended up going 8-1. We lost our opening game on a last-second play to Cheney, and then we proceeded to win 8 in a row. The final game was for the SVC championship as freshmen versus Boardman. Mike Villagrano, Greco, Zetz.
I was going to say, your
all those
era
guys.
from Fitch players and Boardman players, there were some players in your time.
Yes.
That was
Mike,
old Steel Valley football that was played in a phone booth.
Yeah. My graduating class, I will always say this, and I'll defend that, and you talk to them. The 2003 graduating class, the 2002 football season, I think it's the best talent that Youngstown has ever seen. I mean, from top to bottom, the Steel Valley itself. But you're talking about Warren Harding, who lost in the state championship that year, and they had multiple Division I guys. Boardman, going back to your question, my senior year, Boardman had beat St. Ignatius earlier in the year that year. We're state ranked. We got them at our place. We beat them 24-0 in a very emotional game that kept our playoff hopes alive. But you're talking about Zetsu was the quarterback. They had Brad Beck at running back, Mike Villagrano, Greco, a bunch of good players over there. It was, those were good times. I think that's when the rivalry really started. And my freshman year and then leading into that year, it's been rooted in, I think, myself and then
and it's a
our
school
guys.
thing too, right? I mean, the faculty's involved, the student section, the bands. It's a
That's
big
what makes
thing.
it fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you think about our connection to Boardman, even when the Steel Valley broke up, they've always been there with us, Federal League, and then, the All-American Conference when that was running for a little bit in football.
It's
we've kind of been attached to each other, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Coach Parker, Boardman Spartans, give me your thoughts. I'll say this. It's a dangerous football team.
Very dangerous. I mean, I think they have athletes. They're a team. Coach Dodo over there, they're a team that wants to win. And you can see that in their play and their effort. You look at from the beginning of the year till now, their last 3 games have been versus very, very good teams. Yes. And when you look at the games, I mean, I don't care what anyone says. Warren Harding is a very, very good football team.
I agree with you.
They're a very good football team. And if you don't believe so, I think watch Friday night. Them versus Cheney is going to be a very, very good game.
Yep.
But Boardman had them
like 2 or 3 plays away from.
There's no doubt about
4
it.
To
yes,
6-2, 5-3.
Cleveland Benedictine opened up the season ranked in the top 10 in Division II. Boardman beats them. Dover is a great program.
Sure.
Boardman plays them tough. So I think they're an improving team. They understand their identity. I think their kids play very unselfish. They just want to win, whatever it takes. And their scheme puts a lot of pressure on you. You know what I mean? They want to run the football. They want to grind the clock. They want to – obviously, they're going to keep our offense off the field. We got to prove that we can stop them and kind of get things going in our favor. But, they're a very good football team. And what makes them even more dangerous, I think right now in our region, they're sitting right at that 16 to 18
they
line.
Need to win.
They know that this is –
one win in their last 2 games puts them in, and they know that.
Sure.
Same with Warren Harding.
With Coach Parker, Coach's Corner, Wednesday night here at Sam's Wedge Inn. Love coming every Wednesday night. Love being a part of Coach Parker and the Austintown Fitch football program. Anthony, we'll close it up with Coach. Your biggest key to winning this football game, is there something that you're honed in on or something you want to see this team improve or get better at?
I mean, it's cliche. We got to stop their run. I think if we stop their run, they'll be forced to do things that I think they have ability at, good at. They have some good receivers, but and a good quarterback. But that's not what they want to do. So we could take them out of their game by stopping the run. I think, if they're getting sort of, I'm not going to say what they want, but they're gaining yards and moving the ball and running the clock. On our end, we have to take care of the football and finish drives. As always, we have to score, we have to put up points. Even if that's in limited time, those possessions become that much more important. So I think those are 2 things that we have to do. But the key to the game is going to be stopping their run, getting lined up to all the different sets they have in the power run game, and then when we have our opportunities on offense, finishing drives.
There you have it. Coach Parker, Coach's Corner. Boardman Spartans come to town Friday night. Falcon Nation, come on out. We'll have the game for you on YSN Live, 7 o'clock. Ty Bartell, the voice of the Falcons, will be on the call. It seems like he's on every big call that we have in these Fitch games for sure. Coach, we wish you nothing but the best. If you can't be at the game, come on over to Sam's Wedge Inn. Have a great meal. Watch the Falcons get another victory. And, Coach, best of luck. We'll talk next week.
Thank you, man. Always a pleasure. Thank you, guys.